Hey guys, Katie July. It is my week 44 post-op gastric bypass update, which week 44 is like 9.5 months. So my surgery was a baby. I would have had it by now, I guess. I feel like I haven't done a night video in so long. Usually I make them in the morning when I'm determined to make them. So my hair is actually dry, although it kind of looks the same in the videos. And you can see a little bit of my apartment because it's not glaring light out. See, there's the sofa and the cat tree. I'm at the dining room table, so it's still all just one room. Oh, what's happened this week? Well, I had a good week at Weight Watchers, which I'm doing. I lost 2 pounds this week. And I'm going to keep telling you guys the numbers of when I wake up and I am pretty naked and it's in the morning before I eat breakfast and everything, just to be consistent. My highest starting weight was 297. The surgery I was 290. And I think on Tuesday, which is my official day, I was 174, I think. Which I can't remember now, honestly, if I was 175 last week or 174, but right in there and doing really well. Excited still to be under 175. And this morning I was 173.6 actually. So, you know, I feel like right around 175 and between 170 and 175 is where I'm at, which feels really good. And I have to say, it's weird because I felt really good at 180 initially, and then when I was there, you know, I was there for about 2 months, and when I was there for a really long time, I started to feel puffy, and I started to feel gross, and which is insane. And now I'm at 174, and I feel really good again because I'm losing weight. It's, you know, 174 does feel different than 180. The smaller I get, the more I can feel it in my clothes when I'm losing a few pounds. So I feel like I really fit into my 12s, and I pulled on a size 14 jeans and just did not fit in them. They were too big, which is exciting. But it does make me a little curious about when I get to a point where I'm not going to lose any more weight. You know, does that mean I'm destined to feel puffy? Like if losing weight is what feels good, not necessarily being at 180 or being at 176, but it's like that losing that makes me feel like, oh, this was a good week, you know, whatever. What's going to happen when that's not there anymore? So in some ways I'm really excited that my weight loss has slowed, and I know that is totally counterintuitive, and I know I'm plenty frustrated at times, but I feel like it's so much of it is gone that I feel really good right now, and I feel normal, and that to me is what I was always striving for, is like able to blend in, you know, not getting weird looks on the street. People wouldn't immediately describe me now as the fat kid or the fat girl. So the journey between now and my goal weight, I'm fine if it's a lot slower, and in some ways I feel like it's better if it's a lot slower because it's like letting me catch my breath a little bit. And get used to, okay, I'm not always going to be getting on the scale and seeing a 5-pound loss. Some weeks I'm going to maintain, and I need to find a way for that to feel good and that to feel healthy. So, and mentally, I mean, I have to say I'm getting a little bit of that, what do I look like, feeling. And I know I've made a video definitely, you know, at 200 being like, I don't have body dysmorphia, like, I just look like what I feel like I had in my head the whole time, and now I feel like that's maybe not true, and it's because I've lost another 25 pounds, but, you know, we went to the Susan Komen 5K on Sunday. We went to a friend of Becky's house, and there were 2 girls there that we were hanging out, and one of them was probably 200 pounds, and one of them was probably 150 pounds, total guesses. And I was like, oh, I look like the bigger one. This is horrible. This is like horrible that I do this all the time. But, oh, you know, I look like the bigger one. And Becky was like, no, you don't. You know, she's like, you look closer to the smaller one. You don't look like the smaller one yet, but you look closer to that. And I was like, I could not see that. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like, I can see myself in the mirror. But, you know, I'm trying to put the camera back. That's the other thing, so that maybe you guys can see a tiny bit more. You know, my instinct is to be like, I had a good week, da da da. But I'm trying to be like, okay, you know, a little distance, make records of this so that when I, you know, I'm watching my videos, maybe I can get more used to what I look like too. You know, and just seeing myself. Actually, I'm just going to stand up because I'm wearing a really cute outfit. I'll show you guys. Can you see? Isn't that skirt so cute? I think this is the skirt. This is probably the outfit I was wearing when I made my spring shopping video. So it's a size large, can you believe it, skirt from the Gap, and an extra large shirt, and I think the cardigan is an extra large too, I think. But pretty much, I mean, now if I were shopping, I think I'd buy size 12 and size large. Anyway, that's all my number stuff and all my body stuff and all my blah stuff. The only other things which I have are two things really. One is that I got the lemon flavored Bariatric Advantage Chewy Calcium Bites. And I made a review of them a really long time ago when they first came out with the chocolate ones, and I was really excited about them. And I said then, and I maintain, the chocolate ones are really good. They're a tiny bit gritty, but compared to pills, which for me upset my stomach a little bit, or those nasty chalk tablets that I was eating in the beginning, the chocolate, chewy, delicious little yummy bites are amazing. And I actually have to limit myself to 4 a day because at first I was like, well, more calcium. What would that hurt? And then at one point I was eating 8 of them a day, and they do have calories. But anyway, I got the lemon ones, and I really, really like them too. They're sort of just like lemon Starburst. They are also a tiny bit gritty. But to me, it bothers me a little bit less than it does with the chocolate, just because maybe you're not thinking of Starburst as being super creamy the way you think of chocolate as being really creamy. So I'm going back and forth between the two of them, but those are really tasty. And the only other thing which I was just thinking about and just wanted to put out there is I've started thinking about eventually, long term, where I might want to work. And I feel like right now I'm super happy in my job. I work at a business magazine. Thanks, you guys are so sweet for asking for copies, so I sent those all off, and they should come to you soon. But I was thinking about all the magazines that I've subscribed to, and I subscribe to 22 magazines because it's my job and because I love magazines and I'm obsessed with them. And my favorite ones are Food Network magazine, which is really funny and smart and sharp, and Women's Health magazine, which I have always loved, but I used to be really embarrassed about loving it because I was like, oh my God, I'm the least healthy person ever. No one can know I love this fitness magazine. But it's really smart. It's not, lose 10 pounds tomorrow kind of articles. It's really informed, kind of engaging stuff to get you to get the most out of your workouts and lots of good recipes and stuff like that. And I realized, if one of these opportunities were to land in my lap, I would long-term love to eventually be working at one of these kinds of magazines. And I think that having that confidence to even put my name into that application pool is totally something that happened because of the surgery. And then I was wondering, because I started thinking about, Mark on here, who's going to be a personal trainer now, and I know a few other people have said that they want to go back and be personal trainers or want to be nutritionists or, want to be, nurses even for bariatric surgery. And I was thinking, I don't think it's even just that I feel confident enough to go after that dream, eventually. I think a little bit that dream stemmed from having the surgery and getting healthy. Do you know what I mean? It's almost never before have I wanted to encourage people around me to eat a piece of fruit. I mean, not to be crazy, but to be super, super healthy and to love life and live life, hopefully the way I think I'm living it, just a ton more than when I was 300 pounds. But, and even, I love everyone in the bariatric community almost. No, I really do. But even seeing people on here who are afraid to eat a piece of fruit because they're worried they're going to gain all their weight back. I mean, I think there's so much that all of us can be doing to be getting healthier and healthier and healthier. And I don't think that journey ever ends, that part of it. Yeah, and I was like, oh, it would be really cool if my, day job would be working at one of those magazines. So, I don't know, just putting it out there because it's been rattling around in my head for a few days. And, for the people who are also kind of interested in the fitness, health area, I was wondering if that kind of was always there or if that, you think stemmed from, having the surgery and getting healthy yourself. But, oh my God, I've hit 10 minutes. So I will see all you guys later. I hope you guys are having a good week. Bye.